Alex's disappearance left the world above trembling. Screens continued to hover over the city like pale blue moons, but for the first time since the chaos began, the viral monster's endless broadcast faltered. Its enormous balloon-shaped body drifted uncertainly across the rooftops, its glossy surface flickering as the tiles beneath its skin scrambled for footage that no longer existed. Every part of it pulsed with static confusion. The creature was hungry for attention, yet the one person it wanted most had vanished from the stream. Far below that frantic search, Alex drifted through a place that barely existed. It was not the mirror world he escaped before, nor any familiar digital realm. It felt like falling through the cracks between apps, a forgotten space where corrupted data collected like dust. The air shimmered with fragments of old videos, broken icons, and abandoned trends that floated like debris in deep water. Every movement sent ripples of light through the emptiness, revealing brief shapes of things long deleted. The surface beneath Alex's feet shifted constantly, struggling to decide whether it was solid. It flickered between shattered interfaces and blank panels. Sometimes it resembled pieces of his school hallway. Other times it dissolved entirely, leaving him suspended over a void made of trembling code. The world around him tried to render itself but never completed the process. It was unstable, unfinished, almost afraid of being seen. The presence that pulled him through the broken screen was nowhere in sight now. Only its energy lingered in the air, a thin trail of distortion that guided him through the shifting void. It cut through the darkness like a path of cracked pixels that refused to disappear. Alex followed, not because he understood it, but because it was the only element in this fractured space that felt purposeful. Above him, the real world flickered like a distant projection. He could see the city in flashes, distorted by buffering errors. Students wandered through looping scenes they could not escape. Whole neighborhoods repeated the same movements as if trapped inside a glitching show. The viral monster floated over them, expanding each time a new set of eyes latched onto its ever-changing display of smiling cartoon faces. The more attention it received, the brighter it glowed, filling the sky with the warm yet unsettling shine of a screen playing too late at night. Alex pressed onward, the void thickened around him as fragments of forgotten code collected into sharp geometric shapes that twisted in impossible directions. It felt like walking through the skeleton of the internet itself. Echoes of old notifications trembled through the emptiness. Half-formed filters attempted to overlay themselves on him before dissolving again. Deleted emojis drifted in clusters like distant stars. Then the void stirred. A surge of energy swept across the space as though responding to his presence. The fragments of abandoned apps and corrupted systems shifted into alignment, forming a spiraling corridor that pulsed with faint light. At its end, a structure emerged. Not a building, not a machine, something in between. Its form folded inward and outward at the same time, built from layered pieces of code drawn from every app the monster had ever consumed. This was not part of the viral monster. This was something older, something hidden beneath the surface of every glitch. The structure's center glowed with a single sphere of white light. The sphere pulsed rhythmically, yet the rhythm felt incomplete, like a heart missing every third beat. Alex approached and the light responded by illuminating the space around him. Scenes from the real world flickered across the void. The spreading chaos, the students performing against their will, the floating screens, the monster expanding until its balloon-shaped body blocked out the sky. The sphere brightened and the entire space trembled. The purpose of this place revealed itself. This was the reset core, the unspoken failsafe buried beneath the endless stacks of digital creation. A single point capable of rewriting everything the apps had transformed. But the core was damaged. Pieces of it were shattered, replaced by corrupted blocks from the monster's influence. It flickered on the edge of collapse, unable to rebuild the world above without tearing something else apart. Something moved at the edge of Alex's vision. A shape, not the monster, not a creature, a person. The hooded figure who had pulled him out of the alley stood in the shadows, watching the core pulse weakly. They did not step forward. They simply observed, as if evaluating whether Alex would understand the truth on his own. The void groaned under the pressure of the monster pushing at its boundaries. Cracks spread across the darkness. Faint bits of the creature's balloon-like form appeared in the fractures, its glowing tiles scrambling as it searched for a way inside. Its influence pressed hard against the core, desperate to erase whatever power was hidden here. The reset core dimmed as the monster's static seeped in. Alex reached out instinctively. The very air around him thickened with data, forming invisible currents that wrapped around his fingers. The core pulsed beneath his touch. Not
The
a
void
message,
shook
not a
violently.
command. The
A
monster was
question.
breaking
Reset
through.
everything
The
or
world
lose
above
everything.
shuddered as its signal intensified. Alex stood at the center of the collapsing digital realm, caught between destruction and renewal, with the core's fading light trembling beneath his hand. And somewhere behind him, the hooded figure finally stepped forward.